eerste kwartfinale zit er inmiddels op. De tweede kwartfinale gaan we snel onderweg brengen. Het wordt een België tegen Schotland. Allereerst de man uit België, op dit moment de nummer 15 op de wereldranglijst. Hij was de Dutch Darts Master van 2013, de Hurricane, K.Huybrechts! En dan Kim zijn tegenstander, een man die nog nimmer een Eurotour miste. Alle 58 die er tot nu toe gehouden zijn, heeft hij meegedaan. De UK Open kampioen van 2017 uit Schotland, Snakebite, Peter Wright!
Well, we are just about recovering from the end of that last match where Steve Lennon produced, seemingly from nowhere, a brilliant 1-4-3 checkout to floor Mensur Suljovic and book his place in the semi-final of not just his first ever PDC event, but his first ever European Tour semi-final too, and he's done it in front of nearly 4,000 people after being at seemingly a bag of nerves, and he went on to admit that in his interview with Dan after the match. An unfamiliar sight we will see, Steve Lennon in the semi-final, but this is a rather more familiar sight. K.Huybrechts and Peter Wright going toe-to-toe on the European Tour stage. They've met 25 times before today. Peter Wright has the better of that head-to-head record. He's won 16 to K.Huybrechts' 9, including their most recent one. Huybrechts won their most recent European Tour one, but Wright did beat him in a Euro Tour final last year. Now, the route to the final should have just got a little easier perhaps for whoever wins this match.
Ladies and gentlemen, first select Kim to throw first. Game on!
But we're not going to write off Steve Lennon, because even with a handsome advantage in the previous match against Mensur Suljovic, we were starting to write him off a little bit then. It looked like he couldn't get anything for a while. Then he pulled out an absolute whopper in the last leg, and who knows, it could be another one of those bizarre and balmy European Tour days, and this particular tour is creating some sensational stories so far in 2018. Could be a page turner here. Rob Malarkey, you're looking forward to seeing how it pans out?
Always am, Chris, yeah, no doubt about it. I think the first match, you know, there was some, well, it was erratic to say the least, but it certainly livened up towards the end, and it was just a bizarre way to finish things off. But congratulations to Steve Lennon, through to his first European Tour semi-final, his first semi-final of any sort of description on the, well, since moving over to the PDC circuit. He's made semi-finals and finals and won events on the development tour, of course, but on the full circuit, on the Pro Tour itself, the European Tour as well, it's new territory for him. What do you say? I mean, these two players know each other inside out. They've met many, many times before, 25 times, as you said. Their most recent meeting, after that final, they met in Göttingen as well, at the very end of last year. I think I'm right in saying it was K.Huybrechts who came out on top that day, even though Peter Wright averaged over 110.
Yeah, most recent European Tour meeting. There was one on the Pro Tour this year, wasn't there? Peter Wright at the UK Open qualifiers, where he was either reaching the semi-finals or not doing anything at all in those 6 UK Open qualifiers. I think this is a really, really big match for both of these players, because Peter Wright earmarked an ambition to win 20 titles this year. Change of route there for Wright, gone for tops. Well, he hit 20 at the end of that combination, but yeah, he wanted 20 titles. He hasn't won one yet. In fact, the whole field for this evening session has got 10 titles between them this year, but all 10 have gone to Michael van Gerwen. And K.Huybrechts is a man who's been scratching around for a bit of form, hasn't he? He's got a lot to defend from performances over the last couple of years too. So a really, really crunch match this one, you feel, because with an inexperienced opponent in the semi-final who looked to fish out of water at times in his quarter-final match, it's there, the chance to go on and reach a final, and whatever comes from that point is there.
Well, we saw Peter Wright earlier today, didn't we, against Gerwyn Price. 6-3. And there was a lot to admire about the way Peter Wright went about his business. As you said at the time, Chris, it wasn't emphatic, it wasn't totally brilliant, but he was averaging 103.4.
Yeah, the highlight of that was that 140 checkout that he had. K.Huybrechts has superseded that in the tournament at 149.
I think that's the second highest of the tournament so far, behind Anderson's 170, which of course will not be beaten, could be matched, but he has set the bar as far as that particular mark is concerned.
The other thing that I'm going to mention is I know that Michael van Gerwen has been the dominant force at the Dutch Darts Masters. However, hasn't been at his best so far this weekend. And let's remember the pressure of Rotterdam when he was beaten a couple of times on consecutive nights.
Yeah, we alluded to that yesterday when he was playing Terry Jenkins. I made the point about the fact that because he lost twice in Rotterdam in as many nights, there may be just a little part of Michael van Gerwen thinks that he owes the Dutch crowd something here this weekend. And when the pressure's on, like that, when you feel as though you've got to deliver, that's when things can perhaps turn against you. But this is Michael van Gerwen we're talking about.
Well, of course, Peter Wright was one of the players to inflict one of those defeats, wearing his orange shirt.
134.
Can he inflict a big finish against K.Huybrechts here? He's got the treble and the single, and he's building towards the top.
80.
Fires the final dart too high.
Well, that would have been for a break and throw, but
K.Huybrechts.
He's back on terms here.
Third leg, Kim to throw first. Game on.
K.Huybrechts certainly had a few anxious moments in his match earlier today against Jermaine Watimena. 6-5 the score in that one.
118.
More emphatic scoreline against Wayne Jones in his second round match, in which he produced that 149 checkout.
60.
K.Huybrechts, the last man to beat Michael van Gerwen in this tournament as well, in the semi-finals in 2013, en route to the title that year.
Yeah, he also beat Wayne Jones en route to the title that year, didn't he, K.Huybrechts?
The omens are there. Written in the stars for Kim, maybe.
And I heard him mentioning that actually on his way out of the arena when he beat him. Wayne. So players do think about these things. We're not just trying to find some kind of narrative to embellish our commentary. I don't need to say any more about that.
Can we require 145?
And K.Huybrechts, we mentioned a man who has seeded 10 here this weekend, but he's currently 21 on the Pro Tour Order of Merit, so needs to go as deep as he can to try and drag himself back up.
Interesting too that the last title that K.Huybrechts won came with a final win against Peter Wright, and you know that Dutch Darts Masters that he won that we've just been talking about, where he beat Wayne Jones en route?
Yeah.
He beat Peter Wright in the quarterfinals.
Well, there you go.
6-5 that day. as it was in the last European Tour event that K.Huybrechts won.
The followers of omens take note.
I don't know why you're bothering taking this out, Peter.
Because it's written in the stars that Kim's going to do it.
But he hasn't taken it out, and Huybrechts has the chance to lead. And does lead.
Fired up as always, K.Huybrechts. It doesn't really take him a great deal to get him going. Always a player that clearly plays very demonstrative and shows his emotion and passion on stage. Real fire in his belly all the time. Fired up by a couple of cheese croquettes as well that he was eating just beforehand, just to give him even more fire in his belly. Sent Mac Elk into the catering area to go and fetch some for him. Food of champions.
140.
Reminder then that the next two quarterfinals will follow, with Stephen Bunting taking on Daryl Gurney. I think the two top performers so far here, although Peter Wright has rivaled that. And then Kyle Anderson taking on Michael Van Gerwen, who we've said not out of sorts exactly, but not fantastic in wins against Terry Jenkins and Darren Webster.
Yeah, Bunting and Gurney, two players who are averaging around about 100 for the tournament so far. Bunting over the course of 3 matches, Gurney over 2.
79.
Well, that's a slight goal.
Yeah, Russ has been having a lot of work to do, so he had to disqualify a dart from Mensa Suljevic in the previous match.
Yeah, he stepped over the line as he threw it, didn't he? Not when he tried to bust his score because he missed double 7.
Not for the first time. We mentioned that he'd done that in a World Championship match against Mark Webster. Someone's reminded us exactly which match it was on social media. Thank you for that.
100. Video requires 71.
Mensa tried to... I thought he was going to lodge a complaint, but he didn't really have a leg to stand on. Well, literally didn't have a leg to stand on.
Nicely done, Rob. Nicely done. Will this be nicely done for Snakebite Wright? Not quite, and K.Huybrechts now has the chance to break again and lead 3-1. If he can find treble 19, he wants the bullseye for 127 in game.
89. PC required 20.
I gave it the big build-up and
Kim didn't deliver.
Yeah, anti-climax.
Oh well, maybe next time. Double 5 for Peter Wright to square things off at 2 apiece, but he has come inside and no score for Peter Wright, so Huybrechts 38. I think he's going straight for this, yes he is, but that's the danger, 19 away now. So double 8 for K.Huybrechts for a 3-1 lead, and 3-1 it is. And there we see that demonstrative side of K.Huybrechts once again. Two-time European Tour champion K.Huybrechts, as well as winning this tournament 5 years ago. He also won in Sindelfingen 3 years ago when he beat Peter Wright in the final 6-5.
1.
Well, it would have to go down as a very surprising start, wouldn't it? If Huybrechts were to follow Steve Lennon into the semi-final. Of course, K.Huybrechts is an old hand at the European Tour and a winner of 4 PDT titles, half of them on the Euro Tour, but it hasn't been like that lately for K.Huybrechts, and Peter Wright, heavy favourite to win this contest.
I think I might have just unearthed an extra match between these two. 25 metres. I've got 26 here, but it may include something called the PC Antwerp Darts Trophy from 2008, which Huybrechts won anyway.
85 to require 120.
Such are the discrepancies of these things. I mean, I'm sure they've met in exhibition matches dozens of times as well, but you don't count those.
81.
Anyway, you get the idea. Peter Wright has won the majority of their former matches, their former encounters.
Yeah, going winning at a rate of around 2-1, isn't he, against K.Huybrechts? A pressure piler from Peter.
Pressure, what pressure, says K.Huybrechts. He's enjoying this, isn't he?
He seems to have been enjoying his weekend, actually, K.Huybrechts, and I know that victory brings with it enjoyment and confidence, and K.Huybrechts Well, whatever happens here, it could be a confidence-building exhibition for him. But now he's got his eyes on a place in the semi-finals against Steve Lennon. And where he could go from there, who knows?
Yeah, and just to emphasise the points again, prior to this weekend, this year on the European Tour, K.Huybrechts had not been beyond the second round of any of the 3 tournaments he played in. Didn't qualify for German Open and the Austrian Open. He had to qualify for those, given he dropped out of the top 16 of the Pro Tour Order of Merit. Got back in. Was seeded last weekend, but lost to Kyle Anderson 6-4 in the second round there. Seeded 10 here. Currently 21 on the Pro Tour Order of Merit. So this is a welcome return to form on the European stage for him. However, Peter Wright is not done with just yet.
In fact, it was worse than that, Rob. I'll come back to that in a moment. It's a very interesting little fact about K.Huybrechts missing a couple of European Tour events
because,
this year.
Yeah, it was to do with
We'll come to it after this leg, but double 16. Well, not that double, Peter. But we'll come to it now. Yeah, as you just remembered, Rob, it's
registration or something, wasn't it?
He didn't have to qualify, but then he did have to qualify because the registration deadline was missed, and that could prove very, very costly. A run here could dig him out of that hole effectively, couldn't it?
Yeah, that was the oversight. But Peter Wright holds the 4-2.
And before that, by the way, K.Huybrechts was at that point one of only 2 Europeans who were ever present. Both of those men are on that stage right now. Peter Wright remains now the only one.
Something like his 58th European Tour event, I think, this weekend.
And a record that he's very, very proud of.
Might be proud of this as well if it goes. Oh, it just sneaks in and it's wobbling a little bit, but it's a 180 for Peter Wright. So was that oversight on Huybrechts' part down to the fact that he had been moving around so much in the Pro Tour Order of Merit, or what?
Well, I'm not sure where we can point the finger of blame here, because I know that players have management teams that do that kind of thing, so let's just say an administrative error.
Yeah. And leave it at that.
He's just up there chucking the darts, Rob.
And he's doing okay so far. And as you say, he's digging himself out of that hole this weekend by getting some much needed prize money on the board.
Peter Wright's got a chance though here to wrestle back a break of throw.
65.
Flapping his arms there wildly, Peter Wright.
Yeah, I think he'd spotted a fly or a bee.
95.
Can he produce a sting here? 156. Well, he'll be back because Huybrechts is too far behind.
100.
Not too far behind now.
Peter required 56.
Yeah, good. Just another examination here of Peter Wright's credentials. Tops though he wants. And tops he gets. It's a good battle this now, because you just sense that Peter Wright isn't too far away from getting back on terms here. He's got the break now. He's broken back. He's throwing first here. But still, by the same token, it wouldn't be a great surprise if K.Huybrechts just found a little extra as well as we enter the closing stages here.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. They were playing at a similar standard and Huybrechts was having the better of it. But Wright has lifted his game up towards the high 90s now in the averages.
101.
And Huybrechts is going to have to follow suit to fend off the fight of Wright. A big difference.
81.
If you look at those stats there and wonder why Peter Wright finds himself behind, has been in the finishing. A bit of showmanship from K.Huybrechts. Usually the aggression, but it was the smooth look back and the finger point.
Has so many followers all over the European tour, wherever he goes. Peter Wright. Given his commitment, I think, to the cause, and given his flamboyant character as well.
Yeah, not just that, but he's very approachable, isn't he? Him and his wife and manager Joe have done an excellent PR job, particularly on the European tour. Now, can K.Huybrechts do an excellent job of finishing this? Not quite, and Wright has a chance here to level up.
Yeah, Huybrechts might still be hopeful of snatching this one, but Peter Wright is looking at Shanghai on 20s here. That's the easy bit. And he hasn't managed to pull off the harder bit.
Yeah, and he tried to land double top there to leave the same target when he returned. He's made it awkward for himself, but Huybrechts has made it even less comfortable for Peter Wright. Now, not sure who he's pointing at in the crowd.
Yes, he is very approachable, Peter Wright. He was asked for an autograph by a very, very young fan yesterday at breakfast at the hotel. She's probably about 6 or 7 years old, but Peter, duly obliged, interrupted his breakfast, stopped eating, had a little chat with her, and then not only that, he said to her, "Do you want a photo?" Not the other way around, which is normally the case.
Yeah. He gets it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets that his role in the game is not just about throwing the darts. He's created this character, and he thrives on the position that he's in. Well, they won't like being in this perilous position in this match.
48.
And nor will he like the position of those darts.
And that little girl, by the way, as she then left Peter Wright to it and made her way out of the breakfast room, guess who walked in? Michael van Gerwen. So she double backed on herself, went straight back in there and got the second one. Got the world number 2, I'll get the world number 1 now.
I'm assuming he obliged as well. I don't want to think this story finishes off with saying, "Oh, she saw another dart player," and they said no.
No, Michael van Gerwen was very generous with his time as well. As he was prior to the start of play last night, by the way, when he had a few visitors as well from a local charity.
Well, the way that the game of darts is going, you mentioned earlier in these quarterfinals we had 8 different nationalities in the quarterfinals. We've got the World Series events coming up, of course the Premier League finals. These men are becoming, some of them, perhaps the ones you've just mentioned, already are sporting superstars, aren't they?
Yeah, on a global stage.
130.
Huybrechts down to a finish first, but his throw is under threat.
Could do with a treble here though, Peter. He's got 1.
Kim, you require 142.
Will there be another twist here? Peter Wright may well break.
Yeah, another one would have given him a dart at tops, but it's Peter Wright who's going to get the chance to save his snaky skin.
Double 18. Double 9. Tense moment, big moment, and Peter Wright takes it out. 5-3 becomes 5-4. It's a break back. And K.Huybrechts has to start all over again here, but maybe, just maybe, you'd rather be in his shoes, although Peter Wright might well change my mind here. Ton 40 to start things off in this 10th leg.
Huybrechts had to come through in a last leg decider against a Dutchman this afternoon. Peter Wright is basically an honorary member of whichever country he's playing in the European Tour, isn't he? He's that well liked, and he likes that. And they're like that, and they're going to love the fact that this match looks set to go into an 11th and deciding leg. Where's your 50p if it does, Rob?
Yeah, the Malarkey golden coin is going on Peter Wright here. That is the ultimate in kisses of death.
45.
But still, Huybrechts with work to do, but can he put any sort of pressure on here?
Wasn't thinking, was he?
Yeah, 165. That's the problem now. He's left himself a bogey number.
Could have started elsewhere and avoided that. But he might not be able to avoid a last leg shootout because Wright is poised. Double top when he comes back.
82. Failure required. 40.
I mean, okay, if you've got the 180, and you know, but even so,
Peter
Peter Wright does take out tops.
Peter Wright, the 11th and final leg. Kim throw first. Game on.
5-5. K.Huybrechts has the darts, but Peter Wright is in the ascendancy. He's come from 5-3 behind. Good start from K.Huybrechts.
All about the start here, and K.Huybrechts is pretty happy with his.
They just might need to calm it down a little bit, because I have seen on occasion, not just K.Huybrechts, but several players give it the big licks after an opening throw and be unable to follow up.
Yeah, it's all well and good, but if you back it up with a 45 or something even worse than that, then it can quickly unravel. Yeah, that'll do again for him. He's happy with that one as well.
But he's going to keep scoring, and he's going to keep roaring in the direction of Peter Wright.
All it takes, though, is a 180, and suddenly the balance is back in the hands of Peter Wright.
Almost perfectly poised here. Just waiting for one player to land a big score. And if Huybrechts can't hit a treble here, Peter Wright could find himself down to a finish first.
Could well be that both players get a match start here. Wouldn't be surprised at all if that was to come to pass. Peter Wright should get down to a finish first here.
How big will he hit?
130.
Is that big enough?
Ooh, now then, Kim.
And if Wright takes this out, watch him roll back at the face of K.Huybrechts here. Treble 17, and then 2 double tops.
Oh. Well, that's the first part of the equation. That's the second. This would be an absolute heartbreaker for Huybrechts.
Well, you said we might see both players get match darts. Wright's had his. He's missed it. Huybrechts doesn't get one.
95.
Treble 18 would have left double 16, but it's not to be for K.Huybrechts.
The Belgian seemingly had the match in the palm of his hands. Too high. Moving towards. Too low, and you were right, Rob. Both players do get match darts. Written in the stars for K.Huybrechts.
Dare I say it? It was the pressure of the golden coin, maybe, for Peter Wright there. And Peter Wright, the world number 2, and the number 2 seed here is out of the Dutch Darts Masters. Once again, he fails to advance beyond the semi-finals. That's the best he's ever done, beaten in the quarter-finals here. And K.Huybrechts announces himself back on the European Tour stage in fine style. He's really struggled on the continent this year, but here in Holland, it's all coming together at last for K.Huybrechts. The number 10 seed comes through a nerve-shredding encounter, and just look what it means to Kim. He is absolutely delighted with that one. He has ridden his luck this weekend, especially earlier today against Jermaine Wattermainer, and he had certainly plenty to think about there as well as Peter Wright threatened. Both players with match starts, but it's K.Huybrechts who comes through by 6 legs to 5. And Huybrechts will play Steve Lennon for a place in the final of the Dutch Darts Masters. Bunting and Gurney on the way next. And as Huybrechts acknowledges the crowd here, we'll grab a quick word with him, and our next match is on the way.
Kim, we hebben het er volgens mij eergisteren over gehad. De Dutch Darts Masters geeft een goed gevoel bij je. Het kan de omkeer zijn, of niet?
Ik geloof er nog altijd niet in. Ja, ik heb nu geluk gehad, hè, Mr. 3. Ja. Sorry voor iedereen die voor Pieter uit was, sorry. Maar ik ben zo blij. Ik ben echt, ik ben zo blij.
Kim, it's an emotional day today. You're in the semi-finals playing Steve Lennon. How do you see that one?
I'll just take it how it goes. To be honest, I didn't expect to be here now, so this is one of the best days of my life at the moment. I was so deep. I'm here, I'm happy.
Dames en heren, het betekent veel voor hem. U kunt het zien. Hij zit in de halve finale. We zien hem dadelijk nog terug. De Hurricane, K.Huybrechts.